Well, it's been about a day since the updates come out, and I think it's time to get this tier list out because, yeah, we want to get this tier list out as quick as we can so you guys know who to go for, right? Of course. We're joined today by Ethereal and Flight. Hello, guys.
Yo.
Okay. Anyways, let's go ahead and start it off with Eisen Final. As we know, still is a must-ring Air Magic Hybrid, but definitely is going to get replaced very, very soon. Don't you agree?
I would even say he's replaced now.
He's replaced. The only thing that's I'm gonna leave him like over here at the top of the list, guys. That's where he belongs, like right there on the right side of that list. But just for the time being, we'll leave him there. Especially if you're doing infinite runs, you're still gonna need him. Akino Fallen Angel. I actually meant to take her off this list. I don't even know what happened. Why is she on this list? Did my list like not? Oh, it did reset. Oh yeah, okay. Anyways, yeah, she's just a good magic unit. Asuna. Believe it or not, her damage is really high. And so she belongs in the top of that list. Bakugo. I think Bakugo's time has fallen from the less strength physicals, right?
Yeah, he's not that strong, but he's good.
He's good. Greed Hunt belongs in the support category. Actually, we need one more category. I completely I'm sorry. I'm messing this up. What am I doing?
Usopp.
Usopp has his own category. But what we need, go down. What we need is another utility category. Wait. Add below. And then it's the utility category, and that's where all of our leads and everything go into. What is going on? Utility, please. Utility. I got this new keyboard, as you guys might know. It's just a little hard to like use and type, but yeah, he goes into the utility category. All our leads and like Crush, for example, goes in that category. Lord Loros, I'm gonna bring him down here. He used to belong in the Mustang Air Hill Hybrid Magic thing. There's better units in him, you know? Better pizza, better units, Paparusa, there's better units in him. Brook, great support, still used in meta. You know, I'm always going to put Bulma and Speedcart and Oshi and stuff on these tier lists, just to remind you guys that you are going to need them. Same thing with Erwin, you're going to need an Erwin, and then the same thing with Wendy whenever we get to her. Chad, Foldringer, good magic unit, definitely. Definitely not meta or anything, but it is a good free battle pass unit if you're able to get him. Charmy, support. She's good. She slows. Not the best, not the worst, but decent slow. Daki, the best utility other than like maybe one other unit, which you guys know who that is. It's gonna be our boy Shigaraki, but once we get to him, we'll put him on this list because he belongs in a different category with our boy Usopp right there. God, Usopp, honestly, still one of the best in the game. Just the fact that he's true damage is absurd. Deku? I don't know, Ethereal. Does he fall off the list finally?
No, Deku's still one of the strongest in the game.
Yeah, but like with the current...
But the thing is, he's physical. Like, for example, if you're talking about magic, like there's so many different like magic units that are in the lower bracket, but like the meta right now is definitely physical. And there's a lot of characters that are like way better than him.
Yeah, so unfortunately he's going to fall down here. We got another support here. I went ahead and put Chainsaw Hybrid under utility. He's not the best for that, but like, he's still going to go there. Our Dio. Unique Dio is unless string Air Hybrid Magic unit, of course. Regular Dio without Unique is going to go under the support category, guys. So if you don't have Unique on Dio, he's just a support unit. He's mid, honestly. Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. Anelia, the best support unit, proudly. Endeavor Hellflame Mustang Magic does a lot of burn damage as well still. So still a very good unit. Still with Itachi here. I'm going to put him above Itachi this week because last time I put Endeavor above him. So it doesn't really matter. They're both very good units. Kisuke Bankai, another support unit you're going to bring. Flamingo Awakened is probably the strongest ground magic unit in the game. It's not probably. He still is the strongest magic ground unit in the game. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
For the new
just
units,
ground.
he's
just
not
ground.
Currently. Yeah, for ground.
Just ground specifically. Yeah, he's the #1 in the game. Golden Frieza, unless ring magic hybrid. Yep, he's still up there. I almost want to take him off that list, but he's still up there. Along with our boy Metal Knight, which you guys know is a personal preference. I prefer Metal Knight over Golden Frieza for multi-hit. Fujitaro, Mustang, very high damage for a physical hill unit. I think he's still the best hill unit in the game, actually. Right?
Who?
Fuji.
Fujitora?
Yeah, I think he's the best hill in the game.
Yeah, in terms of hills, he is
Just
He's
Hill
up there.
alone. Yeah, I think he's another one Hill alone. All right, Crush. We got another support unit here. I'm actually going to put Crush into the utility category because you're only going to use Crush on those stages that have like 20 shields and you have like a ton of unique units and they're all single hits. And yeah, other than that, Crush is just a unit. Support Gojo falls into that category unless you have unique and you have like limitless like 25 on him. Even limitless like 7's good, but like yeah, Gojo falls there. I'm gonna skip Guts and Griffith for the time being just because we already know the answer to those two units. We got Gyutaro Moon. Believe it or not, he still falls into the must-bring physical category only because of his crit with bleed. Other than that, he's good. I say this every time, the Theros were just talking about this. If you have a mythical unit, it's better than not having a mythical unit. That's all I would say when it comes to like Gyutaro. We got Hanji Captain. She's a good physical unit. I'm going to put her above Deku. She shouldn't really be on this list. It's just that she also bleeds, and she's like one of the only bleed air hitters. So that's really helpful for like units like Stain, who is on like the best must-bring ground physical units. He is not Hybrid, but he technically kind of is Hybrid. It's just his ability, and they have to do bleeding, and that's why like Hanji hitting Hybrid or hitting hairs, or like Unohana hitting airs. Yeah, that's... Anyways, that's what makes him Hybrid. Other than that, he's just the best ground physical in the game currently. Maybe the only person that can compete with him is Skull Knight. Where would you rank those two, Flight?
I think Skull Knight's pretty accurate. Gyutaro's still pretty good.
Definitely Stain above Skull Knight though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just if Stain didn't have that ability, it'd be more of a toss-up, but that ability like breaks Stain.
Yeah, Gyutaro is also more viable now because of Guts, which is coming up.
Yeah. We talked about Gyutaro doing damage with lead. Yeah, we're gonna get to that. We got Heathcliff. Actually, believe it or not, Heathcliff does a lot of damage. Same thing with Kirito. So for just being ground units, these are the highest damaging ground units in the game. But specifically Skull Knight. If you're gonna go for any of these units that isn't Stain, I would go for Skull Knight. But I would also go for Stain as well, of course. This is probably like my top 3 units in the game right now. Homaru Time Traveler with unique is insane. Flight's crying right now because he doesn't have Homaru or Griffin. Yeah, Homaru Time Traveler, everyone knows she's amazing. Her time stop ability is insane. Jotaro has fallen off the list. He's actually like down here on the list. By the next tier list, he'll be gone. But just know that if you don't have Homaru, you can use Jotaro, kinda. But don't do that. Go get Homaru right now while she's still available in the portals. Just go do the portals. Yeah, you know, Julius has really fallen off. There was a point where like he was meta in infinite runs, but if you have someone like Lelouch, you're fine.
Yeah, Julius pretty much got replaced by Law.
Yeah, and then there's Law now. Yeah, Law, who is probably, I want to put him above Doflamingo. Am I wrong to do that?
What, Law above Doflamingo? I mean,
that
Doflamingo's just mainly damage, but...
So should I put Law under the utility?
He would go under utility.
It's kind of hard because his damage output's kind of crazy for a good support unit.
Yeah. I'm going to put him as utility. We're going to keep this like kind of... We're kind of trying to make sense. Flamingo does more damage than Law, but Law is who I would want to get before Flamingo. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I'd rather have a Law over a Flamingo for the overall gameplay of the entire game. Clay, great physical damage. Really, really high damage. But I'm going to put him down here. I'm going to put him down here because we have a lot of other units that are better than Clay. And we have a lot of better learn units. Now, the only reason why I kind of want to put him up here for Unless Ring Physical is because he's the only physical fired burn unit currently, right?
He doesn't burn.
Clay burns, doesn't he? For 35. Oh no, Sado does.
Crits.
Sado burns. He crits.
But
yeah.
Clay is actually one of the strongest characters in the game. He's just
is.
behind Stain in terms of damage.
They're up here, but I'd rather have, you know, like these guys, you know. So it's kind of like eh. But we'll leave him up here just because he's still a new unit. If you have him, I don't want to discourage you from that, like, keeping him. Kyoka Scarlet Lance does a ton of damage. But does she belong up here?
She would fall a little behind Clay. So, but near Deku. So, like, it could be either or, literally.
Yeah, I don't want that top must-ring to get clattered, or full. What's the word I'm looking at? Full of, like, units. So I'm going to put her there. I'm going to put Leafy down here in the support category. I'm actually going to put her all the way at the bottom because I still would prefer to use Wendy over Leafy. Not going to lie. Yeah, there's some situations where you need an air killer, but at that point, with those situations, you're probably bringing Nani along as well, because that's what's going to kill the airs. And what I'm talking about is literally just tournaments. Leafy's kind of weird. She's, like, fine, but I still prefer Wendy. Look, this is what I mean. Our list goes on forever, and last time I put Luffy on list rank physical, but he's on list rank physical hybrid. Luffy does more damage than Honru, but Honru has more use than Luffy.
Yeah.
And that is why Honru goes above Luffy. Madoka Salvation is a good magic unit. That's all I'm going to say. She's an okay... is she higher than Boros? I think she is, actually.
She is...
Probably, but I don't think she hits air.
She's a hill. She's a hill unit.
She's a hill unit.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's not... No, Boros is stronger.
I'm still going to put her... For, like, new players, you can't get Boros anymore, but you can still technically get her. So I'll leave her above Boros for the time being, and then next update I'll get her off of that list. But these two are interchangeable currently. You're not going to go for these two. You're going to go for the ones that are up top over here. Nami is one of my favorite units currently, though. Nami is insane. She's like a Dio without time stop, and a little bit less damage. But I really like Nami. Multi-hit, air, hybrid. Yeah, pretty good. Definitely above Aizen for most gameplay. But sometimes you're gonna like bring Aizen for an infinite run instead of Nami.
Yeah, what's good about Mami, I mean, she doesn't hit airs off placement, but like she's pretty much like her and Golden Frieza have like very similar damage.
Yeah.
So it's like either or.
And she's multi-hit though. That's right. Like my multi-hits are so much better than single hits for me, in my opinion. We put Merlin and our Megumi in the support category. They both buff like magic damage, very good to bring for infinite runs. Meliodas Assault. This one hurts me because he's like technically still up here in terms of his damage because of his crit. He's still going to stay up there. I like Meliodas Assault. This is a personal one for me. Some people would put him as a good physical unit just because his circle AoE attack sucks. Should I move him? Should I give it up?
I would keep him in must bring because there's not many characters that are better than him.
Just like strictly damage wise, he does way too much damage.
Just like based off who else you have in there, like Gutsuro, I would say Meliodas definitely deserves a spot there.
Yeah, above Gutsuro definitely. So we'll leave that there. Nami is a support unit, like these guys, of course. We got Perona support slow. Honestly, Perona has fallen off quite a bit. There was a time where Perona was amazing. Nowadays, yeah, she's okay. Power Fiend is going to go into the utility category here. She's going to boost your magic, or your bleed only. So she's only going to boost your bleed damage, which is good. It would be insane for Guts currently, or Stain, but we'll explain why it isn't. Pride the One currently is still better than Honru. Okay. Damage-wise. I really like Honru, though. I really like Honru, and I would put her above Pride the One. But because his AoE is like, what, 50 maxed out? Pride the One is still amazing, and you're going to want to get a Pride the One. He takes a lot of time to get, guys, but it's definitely worth the grind. Poochie Heaven is going to move into the utility category currently. Last time I had him in the must bring magic, but he's utility currently. Rayleigh, I'm going to put him as a support, but very low in the support category. Like, down here. I'd rather have all these other supports before I get Rayleigh. Rhea, I should have kicked her out of this list. I don't know why she's here. Sorry, guys. She goes with Akina, though. We got last, like, 10 numbers and like that. Sabi. I actually don't know where Sabi would go.
He's
got a lot of damage.
Burn.
Yeah,
he's pretty good burn.
But he's not going to go must bring physical.
No.
So I think we're going to put him in good physical, top of good physical, above Sasuke definitely. Sayaka. That one's hard.
Oh, fun fact, a lot of people don't know how strong she is. One of the strongest characters in the game.
Yeah, it's hard.
Stupid strong.
The thing is, she's stupid strong for like infinite mode starts specifically though. because you can place
she's
5 of her.
expensive.
She's cheap. You can place 5
Oh,
of her though,
wait,
so you're gonna have to
yeah.
upgrade 5 of her to get her to be super strong.
But her
Based off
AoE is her AoE
single
is-
target DPS alone, she's the top DPS physical unit.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put her on this category up here with Meliodas and Yutaro and stuff, but definitely get the other ones in front of her before you get Sayaka. And she's also kind of hard to get because she's a Madoka unit, so we'll leave that there. Alright, we got Shigaraki in the Usopp category, no debate there. I think we all understand why. True damage, and Shigaraki's like probably still one of the strongest in the game, like top 5 in terms of his true potential and like getting rid of any bleed, and then just his ticking for true damage, and his curse is just too high. So Shigaraki, Usopp category. Sukuna Matata is gonna go behind Greed. That 25% that he used to do was really good, but we kind of don't use him anymore, do we? Because he's only 3 placements.
Yeah,
We don't really use him
alright.
for lead anyways. Tatsumaki, good support. Definitely leaderboard, infinite runs. You need to have Tatsumaki. My favorite, I'm going to put him above Pride. I'm sorry. I just like his animation a little bit better than Pride's. So Tengen God of Flashiness is going to go above him. People are like, Pride's better than Tengen. Yeah, I could say the same thing for Tengen being better than Pride, but Pride's better than Tengen. At the end of the day, yes, Pride's better, but there's been a lot of the like daily tournaments where Rose is really important, and actually Tengen's been pretty helpful, so there we go. He's like one of the only Rose units in the game. Like, who else is Rose you can think of off the top of your head that's physical?
Physical.
I think they actually filled in most physical units who didn't have an element with Rose.
Right, so
Only one-
Tengen and Daki is the only other one I can think of, but
Yeah, there's no other like
good.
strong characters.
Greed is, but he's not that good.
Yeah. Okay, Todoroki release, so he's gonna go back here. He's an okay slow. If you don't have any like Anilias or Yoshinas, for example, you're gonna get Todoroki. But yeah, Yoshina's better than Charmy. Is she better than Charmy?
I think it's either or for them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really much of a slow guy.
You can't get Charmy anymore unless you trade. And the same thing with Yoshina, but there's a lot more Yoshinas out there than there are Charmies, so it's whatever. I'd get an Amelia. If you were to get a slow unit, get an Amelia. We got Vegeta Super. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad putting him down here. I really do.
Yeah, he fell off quite a bit.
I really do. I'll put Yamamoto down here as well, just because he's full AoE. Right? He's not, like, better than these other ones. That's kind of why he's fallen off. He's still really good. But unless you have Unique on him, it's kind of like a good unit. Okay, last 3, main 3 that we've kind of delayed on purpose because they're really hard to talk about. First one being Sengoku.
Sengoku.
It's going to go, like, here. His damage is really high. I think you can get up to like 500,000 damage in one hit every like 13 seconds. If you get good SPAs, good curses on that, that'll be like 500,000 damage every like 10 seconds. Basically, it's a ground Frieza, but it's not Hydrid. So at the end of the day, it's not good. But if you're just starting out and you get carried on that raid and you get yourself a free Sengoku, it's good. It's really good. So, lots of damage. Somewhat better ingredients, better pizza, but it's not Papa Russo kind of better ingredients, better pizza. It's just good. Now, the last 2.
Wow. Dude.
Woo! That was good. I know. Last 2 units. I don't even know.
The Kings.
These 2 units are the best 2 units in the game. Is how I'm gonna say. Yeah, these 2 units are the best 2 units in the game. So, starting out with Guts, he's the best must-rank air physical Hydrid unit in the game. It's kind of crazy because I think Tengen does 1 million damage every 7 seconds. Guts does 1.5 million every 8 seconds. He does bleed for 25% more damage, and then he also does fire. So if you got ice enemies, Guts is insane. Okay, there's no other way to put it. Now you add on like an Irwin buff and a Griffith, the #1 air Hydrid magic in the game. Considerable Dio, because of Dio's ability, but Griffith overall, with Unique or with Divine, is a monster. Like, there's nothing in the game, mechanically, that works like Griffith. So, at the end of the day, Griffith and Guts are the number one in the game. Who would you rank as your number one, though?
Like, overall, the entire game?
Overall, the entire game. I'll let each of us will take a choice.
Do you want me to go first?
Go ahead, Etheria. Flight, you go second, I'll go last.
Alright, I'd say if we're talking infinite, Griffith.
Griffith is the best unit
Griffith,
for infinite?
For infinite, because like the way his damage thing works, but
it has to be a long if infinite.
Griffith is actually, it costs about 30,000 like for the for buff wise for you to get him to do his 100% buff for everybody. So in progressive modes he can be used, just not damage wise. So as like a support he's crazy, but Guts overall for every other mode is just like a monster. He's just crazy. So
but if you choose one,
buff, if I had to choose one, I would choose Guts because he's better overall, but Griffith can be used in progressive mode as buffs, and then in infinite, Griffith is just like king.
Okay, so we got one vote for Griffith. Who do you have, Flight? Or for Guts? We got one vote for Guts.
It's pretty tough. Thero made some very good points. Griffin can buff your whole team by 100%.
And your allies' teams.
In terms of like total overall, like I would say like increasing like your entire team's damage and then your teammates' damage. Griffith can be used multiple ways. In terms of just no trait, I would probably say Griffith just because of the buff.
Right. So we got one vote for Griffith, one vote for Guts. My vote for the best unit in the game is none other than Super Vegeta 2, because he's my favorite anime character in all of anime. No, I'm kidding. It's going to probably be, without a trait, Griffin. Griffin's my favorite unit from this update. Definitely. But for my team specifically, my unique army that I have, Guts is the number one unit this update. For everyone else, I think Griffith would be the best. But if you need a lot of damage, you want Guts. Guys, it's so hard to choose a number one unit. How about we agree to disagree that Guts and Griffith are the number one unit in the game?
I like that. Yeah.
I think they're both the number one. We can even add Usopp to that number one list too. And I feel like that's a pretty safe statement to say that 1, 2, and 3 are all number one. You know why? Because everyone's a winner. If you have a mythical unit, it's better than no mythical units. I hope you guys like this. I'll see you later. Reese's Pieces. Bye!